Hey, how's it going, guys? It's me, your Death01 here, back with another video. This time I'm bringing you guys how to get all 50 collectibles in the Gears of War 4 campaign. That's all COG tags, items, files, whatever, you know, all that stuff. So there's a total of 50. I will have in the description below a breakdown of the acts, obviously timestamps for all of that as well. So I guess without further ado, let's just get right into it. And I would recommend, if you are just going strictly for the collectibles, play through the campaign on casual. It's the easiest. If you're doing your actual playthrough, make sure you watch the video beforehand, before you get to that part of the sequence, so that way you can make sure that you don't miss it in your single playthrough. Let's get right to it. Okay, so now we are on Act 1, Chapter 0, and just at the beginning of the mission where you're at this MG nest where you gotta throw this grenade into it to blow open the door and get rid of it. I just want to come through this door here, and instead of turning to the left to continue on the regular path, come to this other bunker on the opposite side here, this bunker number 2. Now just on this desk right here will be your first collectible, so go ahead and pick that up. Now for the second collectible, just from this spot, keep going through the bunker on the right side path here, come down these stairs, and just to your left side behind this pillar at this dead body where your teammate has fallen will be a collectible, so go ahead and pick that up. Now moving on to the next collectible. Okay, so now just after opening that door and going through the next door after that one, you'll come to this big open area where you fight a couple of locusts or whatever. So once you come through this main door here where the battlefield is, turn to your right immediately. And just on the right side here on the wall will be a poster for you to pick up, so go ahead and pick up that collectible. Alright, so now just a little bit further on the prologue in Act 1, Chapter 0, or the prologue, you'll come to this big area where there's this big fight sequence happening, and you'll see there's a bunch of these locusts here, and just in front of you a big spider guy, whatever this guy is called right here, will spawn. Now, from the spawn, when he spawns and you get this cutscene, just turn to the left and you'll see this toll booth on the left side here. Go inside here, and just on the table will be the collectible that you want to pick up. Now we'll get the next collectible in this area. Alright, so now just a little bit further in this mission, once you have gotten rid of that guy after you pick up the Dawn of Hammer, you can shoot at him with the Dawn of Hammer, but instead of doing that when you're fighting him, just turn around and come up into this big courtyard, and from the left of the fountain, or if you get the cutscene and you spawn over there on that side, to the right, just on this far side here, on the side where the guy is spawned, you can see your dead teammate on the ground there. Just on the ground beside his body will be your next collectible to pick up, so go ahead and grab that. Now moving on to the next collectible. Alright, now finally for the 6th and 7th collectible, it is in this area. So once you've gotten the cutscene and they shoot that fireball through and blow up that truck, just go behind the burning truck where your teammate there, you can see he's down on the ground. Come behind this truck on this left side here, and right on the ground here will be the first collectible. Now from here you want to turn around and go towards the path you're supposed to go on, which is right to the left here by your down teammate. It's right here by this desk and these lights right here. Just on the table right there will be the last collectible of the prologue. Now moving on to Chapter 1. Alright, so now we are on Act 1, Chapter 1, and you're going to come into this Windflare, solar flare area. Now when you reach this crane spot where the objective is, instead of continuing on to right where the crane is, you're going to want to come to these set of stairs, and instead of continuing forward, turn to the right, and just behind this barricade will be a collectible on the ground right here, so go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so now we are on Act 1, Chapter 1. A little bit further in the mission, once you're in this building facility, the settlement now, you're going to come to a spot where you kick open the door and that guy's building the wall in front of you. Turn to your left and continue on the path as normal, but instead of jumping down, which will give you a checkpoint and a save towards the objective, just turn to your left past this red building robot, and just in the back corner on these pallets right here, this box will be a collectible, so go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so now just a little bit further on Act 1, Chapter 1, once you come to this big fighting sequence where there's these two carts full of DBs, and you'll see you're at the Settlement 2, the right there is 2, and right in front of you is the big tower where you're supposed to go to. Now, just to the right, in this building to my right side here, whatever this building is called, this is on the thing right there on the plaque, what does that say? Daliel Avenue. Come in this building, and just in the back side, the second room of this building on this shelf right here will be your next collectible, so pick that up. Alright, so now a little bit further in Act 1, Chapter 1, you'll come into the maternity ward. You'll know because it says maternity ward on the building, and there's that picture of the family together. Now, when you walk up towards this big window, you'll get this cutscene. I'm going to skip it for you here. Now, just from this cutscene, pass through this holding area where the babies come. Just to the left on this table where these two green chairs are will be your next collectible, so pick that up. Okay, so now just a little bit further on Act 1, Chapter 1, you come into the big courtyard where there's this big building. Your objective you're supposed to go into the security door on the bottom over there. There's a big fight scene in this whole area. Now, instead of going there, from that maternity ward door where you come out, turn to the left, and the first set of stairs, right where this big COG symbol is, just come to the right here, and right on this pillar will be a poster for you to pick up, so go ahead and grab that poster. Okay, so now in Act 1, Chapter 2, where you get the Fabricator, once you've taken the lift down and you come to this area where the Fabricator actually is that you have to grab and bring it to the elevator, instead of grabbing the Fabricator, turn to the left. Go behind these working machines right here on the left side, and you will see a computer screen right here. It will be lit up green, so go ahead and grab that. That is your collectible for this chapter. Alright, so now on Act 1, Chapter 3, once you reach this big courtyard where the DBs blast through that wall right in front of you and they're coming at you, the enforcers and everything, come to the left side. On the second side stairwell here, you'll see, that's where you came from out of the building right there on the other side. So come around to the other side here, and just on top of this bench right here is the collectible, so go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so now in Act 1, Chapter 4, from the Fabricator, when you bring the Fabricator here, come forward and grab this poster on the right side. Now, there's 3 collectibles to collect in this area. The second one will be coming down the stairs on the right side here. So you can run or walk, whatever. I'm just running to speed it up. And on the far right side of the map here, so you turn right from the bottom of the stairs, go by this yellow banner through these plants right here in this silo on the side, come up to the second stairwell here on this sort of deck area, and just to the right on the ground by these wood piles and this chair will be your second collectible of this area. Now, the third collectible of this area, go back to the other side of the courtyard on the same end of it. So instead of the right side, now we're moving over to the left side over there where that wooden deck is. So just make your way across this bridge, this wooden bridge right here, and come over and stick to the left side, come up in front of this building where this deck is, and just on the chair right here, or in front of the chair by this barrel of apples, will be the third and final collectible of this area. Alright, so now we are on Act 2, Chapter 1, and now from the start of the game mission here, don't go into Marcus's house there. Instead, come to the right side and come to this gate where this graveyard is, and you want to interact with this door. So once you enter the graveyard, you will get this cutscene. This is your mother's tombstone where her coffin was laid. I'm going to skip the cutscene so you can get out. You'll get the achievement as well. Now, just in front of the gate there where that white plant is in the pot, the white flower, that's the collectible. You have to go in the graveyard to pick it up. So make sure you go in the graveyard, get the cutscene, and then you can pick up the collectible. Now, moving on. Alright, so now just a little bit further on Act 2, Chapter 1. Once you've done the cutscene and jumped out of the window from Marcus's house, you're in this courtyard here where these enemies are. You just came from that window. Come to the right side of this courtyard, and you'll see this building on the right side, this sort of hut or whatever the structure is. Now, just behind it here, on the back side of it, in the bushes in the dark here, you see the collectible flashing. Go ahead and pick that up. Alright, so now just a tiny bit further in Act 2, Chapter 1, this is the same courtyard where the last collectible was that you just got behind that building there. You'll come to this door here where Marcus is going to tell you to come in and he'll open the door for you. When you go in the building here, the right side is where you're supposed to go, but turn to the left. You'll see the second set of stairwells on your left side going up and down, and the room right beside the stairwell there on the right side there, that is the room you want to go into. The collectible is just in this room on a desk here right in front of this mirror, so go ahead and pick that up. Alright, so now Act 2, Chapter 2. Once you've come out of the armory at the beginning of the mission, and you kill a couple of the guys, you'll get this chopper shooting at you from Jin. Now, to the right side of the building here, you'll see there's this doorway in the back here where there's this fireplace. The collectible is just on the ground in front of this fireplace, so go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so now, just a little bit further in Act 2, Chapter 2, once you've shot down the helicopter and it crashes down these stairs and you get blocked down here, you're going to want to come down these stairs into this room. Now, you'll see there's some items on the side here, this left side where this workbench is. Right there is where the collectible is going to be, so go ahead and pick that up before moving on. Okay, so now a little bit further in Chapter 2 here, this plane will crash and block in front of you. Now, instead of going into the plane where you're supposed to go, take a left through this little mini wall there. And to the left side, by this wine barrels, you will see right there on the ground is a bottle of wine. So go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so now in Act 2, Chapter 3, my bad, you'll come to this spot where you have to choose a path, left or right. Make sure that you choose the right path. This will make it easier to get both of the collectibles. It'll just be faster. You can still get them if you choose either path, but the right side is fastest. Now, from the spawn of the right path, instead of going up the hill where you're supposed to, turn to the right side. And just in the back by this red tractor will be the collectible on the ground, so go ahead and pick that up. Alright, so now just a little bit further on Chapter 3 here, we're still on the right side. Now the collectible you want to get is actually right there where I'm pointing. That is the truck where the collectible is. It's mainly on the left side. So if you took the left side, that's the one you get first. If you took the right side, you do it in order I'm doing. So basically, I'm just going to run my way over to the left side so I can get the collectible for you guys and show you where it is. I'm just going to ignore these guys here. If I were you, I would obviously you know, kill these guys off so they don't almost kill you like they just did to me. So basically, just make your way over to this truck here on the left side here, and you'll know it's the truck because it's the broken down truck with it's a single cab. And in the back of the box, you can see there's the collectible. So go ahead and pick that up. Alright, so now on Act 3, Chapter 1, when you come into this front alleyway here where there's all these broken cars and everything's overgrown, if you're going forward, you'll see the way that you're supposed to go is actually through that doorway right there, that archway. Now, instead of going through there, come to the left side and just hidden, if this guy would get out of my way, just hidden in the bushes in the tree right here on the ground, you can see the collectible right there, so go ahead and pick that up. That is your next COG tag. Alright, so now just a little bit further in the mission, you're going to come into the catacombs of the building here, and you'll come to the spot where there's this big egg sack that's blown up with the hand gesture right there to pick something up. Now, once you come forward from that spot, you want to come straight forward into the back here, and just on the desk on this table right here will be the next collectible to pick up, so go ahead and grab that. Okay, so now a little bit further in Act 3, Chapter 2, you'll come to the spot where all those little jockey guys come from. Sorry, I forget their name. It's this broken building. It's a long way through the chapter so far. You'll know because there's all these alternating sacks, and you have to come through this door and kick it open. When you kick it open, those guys will grab you, and you'll get a short cutscene. Now, from exiting that door, turn to your left, and just on the table here, right where your fallen friend is, right there will be the collectible. So go ahead and pick that up. Alright, so now a little bit further in Chapter 2, Act 3, you'll come to this building where you have to kick open this door, and you'll get a cutscene seeing Marcus being taken away by the Snatcher up those stairs. Now, once you come out here, you see the guy, the body hanging over the wall here. Turn to the right, and just on the ground by this other fallen soldier will be the next collectible for you to pick up, so go ahead and grab that. Okay, so now a little bit further on Act 3, Chapter 2, you'll come to the spot where you open that door, and you'll see in this courtyard in the center of it, there's this statue. Go to the left side, and just in this little partition here, whatever the part of the building this is, where it's shaded, just on the left side here on that first bench will be your collectible to pick up, so go ahead and grab that. Okay, so now in Act 3, Chapter 3, just a little bit into the mission, you'll come to this spot where you're walking through this area. There's the bridge back there. You're coming through this area, and you're supposed to kick down this door to continue on the path, but instead of kicking down that door, jump over this broken piece of pillar and come up the stairs here twice, and you'll pick up this voodoo doll, or this doll that is right on the ground by this trash can. So go ahead and grab that. So, a little bit further in Chapter 3, you'll come to this big courtyard, and you can see I'm fighting all these jockey guys. Now, you know it's the right courtyard when you look forward, and there's that big structure with the red flowers all over it, or the red leaves. Now, there's 3 paths to take, right, center, and left. You want to come down the center stairs here, and turn to your left, and come down this left set of stairs. Now, from this left set of stairs, you'll see there's this building right in front of you with this light hanging down. Turn to the left, and just on the wall in this building will be a collectible to grab, so go ahead and get that. So just a little bit further from that last section, you'll come up this path where all these DBs, or those guys, attack you. Now, if you look forward, there's an MG turret up there. This is the right path. Instead of continuing up the path as normal where that Snatcher is, turn to the left, and you'll see the set of stairs that takes you up into this little area where there's this long shot. Keep going up the stairs, turn to the right, and just on the ground there is your collectible to pick up, so grab that. So just a little bit further in chapter 3, you come to the spot where at this gate, the Snatcher gives you like a jump scare or whatever he does. He just appears. So this is the right area that you're in. So you're going to want to keep going up this path as normal. Go up these stairs, take a left, come up these stairs now. You're supposed to continue through the door to the right side here. You'll see this little archway to the right, to the left side, sorry. You want to continue on the left side, but instead we're coming around to the right side here. Go around those barricades, jump over this blockade, and just in the back here where this dead body is the collectible to pick up that's on the ground, so go ahead and grab that. Okay, so now in chapter 4, you come to the spot where you jump down in this hole in the ground, and you'll know that's the right area because there's sacks on the left side and a buzzsaw in the center here. Come to the right, come up these stairs, and just on the ground by this amputated arm will be a collectible to pick up, so go ahead and grab that. So a little bit further in chapter 4, act 3, you'll come to the spot where you needed help to get through this gate after the big courtyard fight. So you're in the catacombs here, and you're going to want to jump over this room with these sacks where they are, and keep going on the path as normal. Now that's the doorway you're supposed to go through to continue in the mission. Instead of going through that doorway, turn to the right, and just by these statues and these pots will be a sword on the table to pick up, so go ahead and grab that collectible. So now we're in Act 3, Chapter 5 at the very beginning of the mission. You'll come to the platform where you have to come activate the elevator in the center control panel. So there's the left, right, and center path to take. Come up these center stairs right here. And once you come up these center stairs, take a left, and then immediately take another left, because in this bathroom right here, where this ammo package is, right on the toilet there will be the next collectible to grab, so go ahead and get that. Alright, so now Act 3, Chapter 6. Right there from the cutscene is where you see the Snatchers taking away people into the hive. Now, continuing down this path as normal, you'll see on your left side right there, there's that golden rock, this locust shell or whatever it is. Go ahead and inspect that. That's your collectible, and it also gives you some backstory about the story. So, just a little bit further in Act 3, Chapter 6, you'll come to this room where these pouncers are attacking you, and these guys are coming from around the places. Now, once you come through this door and you open it, you'll see this Locust armory, all these guns laying around on these minecarts. Just come to the back of these minecarts to the left side. Right on the ground here will be your collectible, so go ahead and pick that up. Okay, so now in Act 4, Chapter 1, right at the beginning of the mission, you'll come to a spot where you come through this hole in the wall, and you come to this big open area in the mines. Now, once you come through that hole, just make sure you turn to the left immediately. There's your teammates, that's the path to go. Turn left immediately, come over behind these broken rocks, and right on the ground behind this crate right here will be your collectible, so pick that up. Alright, so now at the beginning of Act 4, Chapter 2, this is literally about 10 seconds into the mission. You're going to come to this big open area where there's this crashed turbine or helicopter, whatever that is. And on the regular path you're supposed to go on to the left, you see as I zoomed in, there's that COG wheel. Now, just past this wheel, you'll see a dead body sitting there on the ground. He has your next collectible, which is your COG Tag. You'll get a cutscene when you pick it up. I'll let it play so you guys can see it. But this is where the collectible is, so make sure you grab that.
You know we can't ignore.
Alright, so now in Act 4, Chapter 3, quite a bit ways through it. You just went through a bunch of solar flare sequences and you climb up these ladders. Now when you climb up the ladders, you come out into this courtyard and this Tolan Dam courtyard where you fight a bunch of grunts and locusts and everything. Now climb over this wall and continuing on the path you're supposed to go on in this comms area. Instead of going upstairs, turn to the right, stay on the bottom level, and just walk over into this back corner beside these blue barrels right on the ground. Right here will be your next collectible, so go ahead and pick that one up. Okay, so now in Act 4, Chapter 4, quite a bit ways through, you'll come to a big fighting sequence where you fight the big guy. You see the mulcher on the ground there. You'll come to this big open area, this sort of comms looking area with all these huge pipes and everything around. This is after a solar flare sequence. You bust through this door right here, you hit the button. Now as you're coming through this path, you'll see this broken door right in front of you, and to your left will be a guy hanging in through this broken window. You want to go into this room, and just around the corner right here on this dead body will be your next collectible, so go ahead and pick that up. Alright, now just a little bit further on Act 4, Chapter 4 from the last collectible, you come into this big room where there's all these chains and you fight a bunch of enemies again. All these changing chains, shifting chains. Come into this room where you're supposed to go, but instead of continuing to the right and opening that door, kicking that door, don't do that. Turn to your left, and just in the back by this buzzkill or buzzsaw and the ammo right there in the crates right here will be your next collectible, so go ahead and pick that one up. Now moving on to the next one. Okay, so now further on in Act 4, Chapter 5, we'll come to this sequence right here where you just open that door, this door right here. You both opened it and then came in, shut behind you, and you come to this room. Now, once you're in this room, make sure you turn to the right. Go into this doorway on the right side here, come to the left, and just on the table right here will be your next collectible, so go ahead and pick that one up. So now in Act 4, Chapter 5, a little bit later, you'll come to the spot where you have to open up the guard for the reactor thing here, shoot it so it explodes and opens this doorway. Now once you've done that and come through the doorway, you can tell here, you come up these stairs, and instead of following the path normally, come to the left side here, go all the way in the back over here, keep following this path to the left through this whole section here, and you'll see a door on your right side here that's blocked by sandbags. Jump over it and you can see the collectible flashing in the distance there on the ground, the info, so go ahead and pick that one up. So now in Act 5, Chapter 1, right at the beginning here, you'll chainsaw this gate open, come to this big courtyard and have this huge fight scene. Now, you can do this before or after the fight scene. I'm doing it before to show you guys. So come to this right side, down the stairs, and just turn a right immediately. And you'll see this extra alcove, this alleyway back here. Just run all the way to the end, you can see the dead body there. This will be your final COG tag, so go ahead and pick that one up to get the achievement. And now we're going to be moving on to the next collectible. Alright, now a little bit further in Chapter 1 of Act 5, you'll come to this factory here. Stay on the bottom level and follow the path as normal. Instead of going up those stairs there, keep following down this bottom path here all the way to the end, turn left, and right on the dashboard here of the control panel will be the collectible, so go ahead and grab that. So now in Act 5, Chapter 2, you'll just jump down from this window by walking on those wooden planks, and you'll keep following as normal, and you'll pass under this archway. Now instead of turning left to open that gate, instead turn to the right, come into this open workshop here, and there will be your collectible right here on the table, so grab that. So now there's no collectible to get in Chapter 3. The last collectible you get is in Chapter 4, which is by beating the game. That is how you get the 50th and final collectible of Gears of War 4. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you did enjoy. Please check out my friends' channels. Their links will always be in the description below. Keep it real, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.